well-accomplished African-American male.
Exactly. And they took it from the world.
And you know, it's amazing because we'll get into this. You know, Michael loved everybody. He was black, but he didn't care if you were black or white. He didn't care if he was Chinese, Ethiopian, from Bolivia, wherever. Michael loved you. You know, that's what this whole thing is supposed to be about, love. You know, not hate, not premeditating conspiracies on groups, not supporters, not supporting Michael. I mean, and any time we go to the courthouse, we always want to be on our very, very best behavior. And when you're on your best behavior, all you can do is win.
That's so true.
You know? But if you come there and you have a premeditated conspiracy to take away from what it's really all about, then the fault falls on the person who's responsible for those type of actions. And that's whoever it is. And I call that sabotage. When you, if we go to the courthouse and supporting the Justice for Michael,
Right.
and somebody comes there and causes another problem in the middle of doing justice for Michael, well, you're taking away from the justice for Michael.
Right. Took away everything.
You know? It becomes about you. So I say this to everyone who's involved in working on the wrongful death of Mr. Michael Joseph Jackson that wants to see something productive happen. You have to be productive. You have to be positive. And you have to have faith that God will prevail in the end. It's not about I or me, but it's about we and what we can do. And when we move the I's and the me's out the way, that's when we can start getting some work done. You know what I mean?
And you have to understand too that when we talk about Michael, like we mentioned, he was at another plane.
Yes, he was.
A lot of us, well, most of us look at race.
Yes.
He was on a whole different plane. He had accepted race as a human race.
Man,
You know,
he had a song.
and instead of us accepting a white race and a black race, he accepted race as a human race.
It's a human
And
race.
there's not too many of us that have reached that plane.
Man, that's
Not
a
too many
that's a
of us.
plateau, isn't it?
Not too many of us have.
You really have to be really right here.
Yeah,
You know, and for Michael's young life, man, he was wise.
yeah.
He was a genius,
He
man.
was.
You know, it's amazing the amazing things that he did, man. I mean, how many people would get rich and let kids from all over the world come to your home
Exactly.
and get on the floor and sleep on the floor
Yeah.
so you could sleep in his bed?
Yeah.
How many rich people do that?
You
How many
do.
how many well mannered, fabulous people with well-to-do do that for kids?
And look at the busloads of kids used to.
Bring to Neverland, busloads of kids, flying medical supplies to Africa. You know, I don't think I could ever speak on all the accolades of all the great things that he did for somebody else.
And you know, you bring that up, but we don't know what he did.
Right.
We don't know everything, but we know he did so much that
So
it's
much.
uncountable.
It is uncountable.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I'm glad the way you said that, it's uncountable.
Yeah.
That's how many things he did.
Yeah.
That they're uncountable. You know, it's amazing because, you know, when I look at his accomplishments, it just never ends.
No.
It never ends. And the thing about what we have to remember about Michael, and we have to remember, Michael never walked outside by himself. I mean, he couldn't do it. You know, he probably did. I mean, when nobody was around, and he still had to have bodyguards.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else who needed more bodyguards than Michael, because people wanted to, you know. I mean, he was blessed, man. You know, I can't say enough about his accomplishments.
Well, you know, his accomplishments live on through his kids.
Yes, they do.
So you really don't know what his kids are going to do next, because they seen that image around them.
And then guess what? Each one of those kids have some Michael Jackson in them.
That's right.
I mean, we don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I'm sure they're being groomed,
Yeah, that's right.
you know, and I'm sure they're being groomed very well, you know, and I just really hope that they have a chance to heal the world,
Right.
you know.
And it also tells you something about his parents too, because he was created by a mother and father.
Exactly.
So that kind of, with his presence on this earth, they played a pivotal role.
You know, I want to say directly to Ms. Catherine Jackson and Mr. Joe Jackson, we love you, and we support you, and that's what this is all about, fighting for their rights. No one should have to lose their child. Not like that, not at all. But back to this one important thing. We're going to come back to Mr. Michael Joseph Jackson and the life of Mr. Michael Joseph Jackson, and what do we do as a people? What do we do? How can we help to get justice for Michael? Well, guess what? Your prayers are needed. If you can't make it to the courthouse, you can send things like your prayers. You can support on Facebook. You know, I'm Eddie Jones Jr. on Facebook. You can join me on Facebook. I'm COMACTWIN COMACWIN on Twitter, which stands for Community Activist Winners on Twitter, so you can tweet me. Or you can Yahoo me. My email address is COMACTWIN@yahoo.com. So you can hit me on Yahoo with pictures and ideas on what can we do to continue to support. And I hope and I pray that on the next court date on October the 26th, which is Michael Jackson's, Conrad Murray next court date, I pray that everyone comes in big numbers with big positive things in their heart and big positive things on their mind, and to support the Jackson family and support justice in the wrongful death of Michael Joseph Jackson. It's real simple, isn't it? There's nothing complex about that. And you know what? If you want a real blessing, try simplicity. Try simplicity. You know, God ain't expecting nothing super big out of any of us. He wants the simple things. You know, and one of those things is faith. Because faith without works is dead. And God said in His Word, you have not because you ask not. But Matthew 7:7 says, ask and you shall receive, seek and ye shall find, knock and that door shall be opened. So I already asked God, and I'm praying as we're going through the show right now. I'm praying for everybody that's listening, everybody that's going to watch this, and everybody that's going to hear this. I'm already praying for you. And even the ones who don't care about me or don't love me, I love you. I love my enemies, because that's what God told us to do. So I love my enemies. I love, hey. But guess what? God deals with everything in its own time. Right?
That's so true.
Now, if you're not at Fame Church right now in Los Angeles, 2270 South Harvard Boulevard, we're giving away right now as we speak. Tell somebody, email somebody here in LA, call somebody in LA. If they have kids and they want a free backpack, free jeans, free tennis shoes, socks, shirts, pencils, pens, notebook papers, and notebooks, you should be at 2270 South Harvard Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 918. That's where they're giving away all the school supplies today. And school books and jeans. And that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Can I share something with the parents that are going to show up today?
Yeah, sure.
Because what I used to tell my son about school and college was I really didn't like to go to school.
Yeah.
I made it real simple. You use that simplicity as the best thing. I made it simple as possible. So I told him that the true meaning of school is to listen, learn, and participate. School is a world in the classroom. School is your training ground to be all you can be. Finishing school is a great achievement. Not going is personal punishment. Listen and you overcome your shortcomings. Learn and you will never get stuck behind. Participate and share your knowledge and dreams. Pray that you finish.
Wow, that's really good about school. It's funny that since you brought that up about school, school is also the place where you learn the basic things in life. I mean, even though it all starts at home, school is home away from home, because that's where you spend most of your time. And that's how you learn how to deal in social society. And that's how you learn how to learn history and geometry and math and English. These are the things that prep you for a better life. So it's very important. Voices to Our Children is a good book.
Well, it's an excellent book. And that's why I say the book should be read from the parents to the child.
From the parents to the child. You know, that's another thing. You know, we'll go back to Mr. Michael Joseph Jackson in a minute. One of the things that we don't do with our kids these days, because we're all so busy, we got our iPods, we got our Game Boys, we got all this stuff, and we just walk around with our plugs in our ears sometimes, and our Droid phones and our Verizons and whatever, and we just don't have time to really read to our kids anymore or read to our nieces and nephews. When's the last time you picked up a book and read to somebody that you really cared about? Especially somebody that you have some influence on their life. That's
so
amazing.
True. That's so true.
You know?
It brings the family closer together. It really does, because you become inspired once you read it to me. The child becomes inspired. And on a daily basis, once you take something out of it every day, just to talk about, discuss, and have candid discussions about what you just read, and then act upon it.
So really, the book here, could you hold it up again?
Yeah.
Voices to Our Children is like a inspirational book, a motivational book, and it gives kids it gives adults and parents leadership stuff, and bonding stuff, and reality.
And it helps change the mindset of our kids. That's the main thing. Help change the mindset of our
Keep
kids.
them out of gangs.
Keep them out of gangs.
Keep them out of trouble.
Yep. And make the parents more aware of what their kids are doing, because they're with them now.
And you know, when you build, that's one of the big things is kids and parents aren't really communicating like they used to. You know, kids want to do whatever they want to do.
We eat at separate times.
Yeah.
We go to school at separate times.
Right.
We work at separate times.
Yeah.
So we want something to bring us all back together.
Well, you know, it's amazing because a lot of our kids are in the foster care system, and a lot of them are into group homes. And so they need it more than kids who have mothers and fathers, or just, you know, then you have single parent homes. You know, you got single mothers, a lot more single mothers than you do fathers. And not just in one particular community, but a lot of communities. And so I say to all the fathers out there, man up, guys. Man up.
This is great for especially for fathers that are coming out of incarceration and don't know what to say to their kids.
Right.
It gives them a tool. This is a tool.
Wow.
It gives our parents
now that's really important, because fathers that are coming out of incarceration, their main goal is not to go back into incarceration. So this would be a good tool for a father who is coming out. And you know what, also too, to the fathers that are doing the darn thing, right on to you, brothers. All you guys out there, wherever you are around the United States, big ups to all the fathers who are standing up and being fathers and manning up and showing their kids how to live in society and how to be productive.
That's right.
You know, because that's what it's all about. You know, I just want to give big ups to my daughter, Sasha, who is attending college right now, my son Ishmael, who's attending college and working right now, my son Esquire, who's working a job, you know, my daughter Shadana, who's a chef, who works at a big university cooking, and you know, and then my other oldest daughter, who's a nurse. And I say this because I said I will say this with that simplicity. I gave them the basic toolbox of life, and inside that toolbox are all the tools that they can use to assist them in life. And if there's a tool in the box that you don't know how to use, I have a 24-hour a day, 365-day a year open door policy, and I'll show you which tool to use to fix whatever problem it is. You know, and that's the relationship between parent and child, and that's the way it should be. And that's what gives them that self-esteem, that motivation, the integrity, and the dignity that they need to be productive in society. So again, Voices to Our Children.
I'd like to share my website.
Go right ahead. Please share your website.
The website is www.voicestourchildren.com. Our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 19051, Anaheim, California, 92807. Phone number is 714-970-1227. And you can reach us during business hours 6-7 days a week, because we're open just about 7 days right now. So, and I also wanted to share something with you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
I want to, on my behalf and my family, we want to make sure that you receive this book for inviting us as guests. I'm sorry my son and my wife couldn't make it today, but they wanted to make sure that I present this book to you in your program as a gift, so you can share it with your family as well.
I can't wait to do that. And I thank you very, very much, Mr. Taylor. And I have a copy of Voices to Our Children, and it's signed. Okay, this is going into the archives. You know, it's amazing. Voices to Our Children, old sayings and everyday affirmations, wisdom and nuggets for today's youth. Hey, it's my book, you guys, and I'm going to keep it.
And at the top of the page, the first thing it says is, opportunity is a victory.
Man, that's true. Opportunity is a victory, you know, in every way.
Yeah.
And when you create the opportunity, you normally do get a victory. You know, and I guess that, you know, again, that goes back to being a fisherman of men.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so, you know, I've been talking about a lot of different things, and I want to just go over the weekend, for the Labor Day weekend, there was a jazz festival.
Yeah,
And that's where we were talking, right?
exactly.
At the jazz festival. Wasn't it nice?
That's all it was.
And what's her name?